Yo, what up? Welcome back to 2:30 p.m. in the morning. I'm here with my co-host, collaborator, and close friend, Cody Jack, Black Falcon, Falcon, some cunt, whatever you want to call it.
I'm not black, but I am a Falcon. I can confirm that.
This is a new series we're introducing called Interlude. We just wanted to touch base briefly on some of the things that have been happening in our lives at the moment. I figure we start with went on a family vacay recently.
Yeah, it was a pretty good trip. We went all around Victoria. We went right up north to see my godmother. She's in Barnawartha, which is right near Aubrey Wodonga.
Okay.
So right up near Ned Kelly country, which is cool. And it was also interesting because she was saying on her emergency app on her phone that there was someone wanted in the area, so maybe a real Ned Kelly.
You went to Glenrowan, I imagine.
Yeah, that was like super weird though, because like everything had like a massive price tag, which I feel like Ned Kelly would not be happy about that.
Well, Glenrowan's become very touristy, trappy over the decades.
Beechworth, on the other hand, that was super cool because like everything was like pretty financially friendly.
Did you see any like really cool sort of shit while you're out and about?
Yeah, so we got right up to the top corner of Victoria where South Australia, New South Wales all meet, and right in the corner there's a monument, but you can't get to it unless you go on a boat because it's surrounded by private property, which is kind of like that kind of sucks.
Fuck you, private property.
And there's like signs, cameras in use, no trespassing, blah blah blah. I'm sure people do it, but we were like, okay, we're not gonna risk it.
Yeah.
But right in the top corner there's like heaps and heaps of emus, and we saw we were driving the car and no one was like around that area. We saw like 10 eagles like just on the road, and then I didn't get my camera out in time. I got like them from a distance, but it was super cool, once in a lifetime opportunity.
Yeah, awesome.
What else did we see up there? We saw heaps of almond farms, which is like super random, but I wasn't expecting it. Just acres and acres of almonds.
You know what I thought was cool, on a quick tangent, but about like something sort of weird like an almond farm? So I had to have a sleep study done a few years ago for, personal health reasons. And I went and did the sleep study. The clinic that I did it at was at like some bloke's house, and he had a chunk of the house that was set up like an office, and it had bedrooms for the sleep studies and stuff. But he also had a truffle farm at the same property. So you'd be pulling into the driveway and up, because he lived like up here. But as you come up through the driveway and around, all this area here is truffle farm. And I was like, that's the most random thing. Like, truffles are, being a chef, truffles are quite expensive, considered a delicacy, etc. I was like, no, like, this dude's he's a doctor, so he's already making bank, and he's got a truffle farm on the side, so he's making even more bank. It was, but almond farms. Lots and lots of almond farms.
Yeah, because I didn't know what they were when I was there. I'm like, what are all these trees? I don't see any fruit. What is it? But it was just like, they had built like, because a lot of the roads up there are dirt and four drive only, which we don't have a four drive, but we drove on them anyway. But the sealed roads were like right next to these farms, and I reckon the farmers would have paid to do that so workers could drive their cars.
Yeah.
But yeah, I looked it up later, and it's like that area is massive in almond farming. But it's like they got to grow them somewhere, and I've never seen an almond farm in Latrobe Valley.
No, that's pretty crazy.
How do they farm truffles anyway?
So there was these like, they kind of look like cacti, but I imagine they weren't a cacti. But they kind of look like cacti, and that was it. Just like rows and rows and rows of these things. And because I didn't actually meet the doctor at their house, I spoke to him in an office at a doctor's clinic, and then I rocked up to his sleep clinic, which was manned by somebody else. So I didn't get to ask the question, because I didn't know that he had the truffle farm until I rocked up to the house, and I was dealing with the technician, and I was like, what's with all the like weird little cacti Christmas tree looking things? He's like, oh, it's a truffle farm. But I know that back in the day they used pigs to sniff out truffle, so I imagine truffle grows under the ground. So I would say it probably grows under the ground around the base of these trees, or these weird little cacti plants. But yeah, back in the day they would have pigs who would they could smell the truffle, and wherever the pig was going, and they would dig it up and truffle. But I don't know if that's still a method, considering truffle farms are a thing.
I think for wild truffles, they'd probably still do that. But it would probably be harder to get wild truffles, I'd imagine. But maybe they taste better.
Before we move on, I'm gonna grab myself a drink. Do you guys want a drink? No? You good? Sweet. Want a drink?
Yes, I do.
Excellent. 1, 2, 3. Movie magic.
So what do you got to drink?
Water.
Well,
How's that for movie magic?
well, I talked to my friend Jesus and I gave him some water, and I didn't realize that he couldn't just do wine. He could do prosecco.
And the water was now, and it was wine.
Praise Italian Jesus.
So anyway, we figured we'd talk about. Recently, I did the co-headliner event with Red Rider War. I battled Donkey, he battled Sammy C. That was a great event.
I just want to talk about Red's battle first.
Let's do it.
Because I haven't seen all the battles from that event yet, but I will get to it. But Red's battle, in my opinion, was one of the most impressive rounds I've seen, because he just like flipped the same rhyme scheme over and over and over again, but threw in punchlines, wordplay. It was incredible, and also his flow and delivery were amazing.
I remember when that Sammy C scheme, that I've got a massive scheme for Sammy C. I watched him develop that scheme, and when he started, instead of having a structured verse or like an A-B scheme, so like the A scheme was Sammy, the B scheme was C, he didn't structure it like that. He just straight off the top of his head thought of every single multi he could, and he listed them. So he would just go through the list, and it would make no sense because it had no structure. It was just a list of multis. But he'd go through the list, and it would sound like the gnarliest bars you've ever fucking heard. And all he was doing was listing multis. He'd be like, Sammy C, massive geek, cracky fiend, packy team. And like, but he'd list, and it was just like, so when he actually got them into a structure and had a direction for those multis, bro, just that was crazy. That was really crazy. I want to shout out Sammy C as well, like just talking about the Red battle. Sammy came in, he killed it, a little bit of a stumble, brought it back. That second round, fire. Shout out Sammy C, thank you for making the trip over.
And then your battle with Donkey, unfortunately, it was another unjudged battle. But in your opinion, who do you think won? I know you're biased to yourself, obviously, but
I am, but I also consider myself to be quite humble.
Yeah.
Or at least I try to be.
You're quite objective with your criteria.
So Donkey, who do I think won? So I think Donkey out-rapped me, just in terms of like how many syllables he was able to fit to the bars that he had and get them all out. And he came with like, you know, type flows.
Just like a machine gun.
Yeah, whereas like I tried to do something a little more reserved, more like standard a cappella type battle rap where everything's sort of spaced. Whereas Donkey just came in and wanted to rap, and that's exactly what he did. So I would say that if I was judging that battle, I would say Donkey edged it. I wouldn't say that I outright lost, but I would say that Donkey edged it. However, he had a couple of stumbles, had to sort of retrace his steps to get his bars back. But just like Sammy C, like he came in, he did his thing. Even with the fumble, he recovered really well, and he killed it. I was happy with my performance though, man. I made some of those Shrek jokes were like Lord of the Fuckwads or Farquads was like one of my favorites. I was genius. I also like the whole molesting hip hop with a shitty song. Donkey's gone and finished here. Fourth, we'll call him Diddy Kong. Like
And that got a pretty good reaction, that line.
Yeah.
If I was there in person, I probably would have viewed it a little bit differently, because when you're there and you got that present energy and bars are just, flying out the wazoo, it's kind of hard to pay attention to specific lines. But since I watched it with the upload, or with the live stream, I was able to pay attention and dissect it a little bit more.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, your bars were a little bit more concise and straight to the point. It seems like Donkey is pretty good at freestyling, and he was also good at some of his flips. There were a few. I mean, he was probably expecting the Shrek jokes, but they were funny. But he did flip it.
The way that he started that first round with he's dissing on the movie, and that's not alright because Shrek and Donkey have had more views than every Aussie battle rapper combined.
But I also appreciate that Donkey shouted out the 2:30 p.m. podcast. That was pretty cool. So thanks, Donkey.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's at the end of the day, it was all love. Donkey came in, he can really humble dude, man. I got a lot of respect for Donkey. He messaged me before the battle, introduced himself, said hey, and just had a chat. And then the day of the battle, we get to the venue, same thing. Donkey sees me, comes up, shakes my hand. Hey, bro, what's good? What's going on? Good luck, good luck. We did the battle. And in the battle, it kind of looks like we hate, there's a lot of hatred there, but there genuinely wasn't. Because the battle finished, and after the battle finished, same thing. We had a brief chat, said what up. Me and Chris, we've been friends on Facebook since that battle. He's a really good dude, man. I got a lot of respect for Donkey. And he's just a maniac of a rapper. Absolutely, man. As you said, I feel like I came with a lot of jokes, which is not sort of my style. I have jokes peppered in, but I came with a lot of jokes. And I knew that the Donkey, the Shrek angles have been done, so I tried to find newer, creative ways to do it. I will say, if there was one line I wish I didn't use, it would be the Chris Blewett lyric, the Chris Blewett bar, because at the time I was just I know it's done, but it's expected, so I got to throw it in there. And even though I was I'll come up with a creative way to make it feel fresh, watching the video back, it still just feels he did the same thing as even the way Donkey's in the background, him and Mikey are blew it.
A crimson fluid dripped, it was the end, and Chris knew it, because opportunity was offered to beat me, but Chris blew it.
Yeah, they saw it coming from a mile away.
Yeah, straight.
It would have been a hard battle to judge anyway, because both of your guys' styles are so different. So it would have been you'd be kicking one criteria, he'd be kicking the other.
Yeah, I knew that it was going to be a style clash from the jump.
I kind of feel that with Perth battle rap and Melbourne battle rap in general, they're very different. It was cool to see the collab because of that.
That event was crazy. I went from that event, English. The next one I did was the street series that was just gone. Y'all might have seen the recap that I did. That was a good event, man.
So what did people say at that event?
What did people say at that event?
Yeah, do you want to show them?
Sure. Let's have a quick look. So this is the recap that I did recently. You might have seen it online. If not, movie magic. Here with Kryptonite, down here at the 30G laneway for Street Series 3, 2:30 p.m. in the morning podcast. We just figured we'd have a quick chat, man. What do you think of your battle?
Oh, it was alright, brother. I thought, for being unprepared, I went pretty well.
Hell yeah,
Did
man.
not disappoint myself, bro. Always got to bring that confidence.
Yeah, fucking. I watched the battle. He came. I would have given it to you personally.
I personally, I thought it was a draw. He had the first round, I had the second. my first round wasn't too bad, but yeah, that's my thought.
What'd you think of Lone Soldier and E-Bird?
Bro, that was gun battle. I'll tell you, Lone Soldier always brings it, and he's in attack, bro. And he's like, pop, 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 he just attacks you.
Bro.
And E-Bird, bro, man, one of a kind. He's always got it, bro. He went 5th gear, bro. He was gonna give up, and he's like, nah, I got this shit, bro. And fucking man,
Yeah, fuck
battle,
yeah,
bro.
100%. This was Kryptonite, 30G, OZs, E-Bird, and Lone Soldier from Urban Energy.
Yeah, the fucking boys.
Shout out 2:30 p.m. in the morning. I just wanted to have a chat with you boys. What do you think of the event today?
Fucking bad, bro. Me and Loney had a battle. Fucking Loney won the fucking no cunt.
Battle. You come hard though, bro.
Yeah, fuck yeah. I was spitting freeze off the top of the brain and shit. This cunt's fucking good though. He holds it in his fucking good fucking ball head.
Lone's been stepping up massively over the last year.
100%.
Definitely someone to watch out for. What do you think of your battle today, Murray?
I was impressed. Come out exactly how I wanted to. I delivered what I expected. I don't think that, but normally, you know, there's something that I'll pick him about. Oh, I could have done that better, but I did. The only thing I could say, maybe get more up personally in the space, not stand back so much.
Yep.
But as in vocals and that, the way
You ripped it, bro. Yeah, it ripped it.
Absolutely killing it, boys. Absolutely killing it.
Fuck yeah.
Shout out Urban Energy. Definitely check them out.
100%.
Lone Soldier, E-Bird, Vanik.
Yeah, the
you know
fucking
what's
boys.
good. What up?
For the culture cunts.
G-Megs, the G-Megalodon, 30 G-Megs. What do you think of your battle, bro?
Fucking good battle, bro. Shaky, mate. That bloke just, when he freestyles, he just levels up every battle, man. It just keeps getting better. Like, hats off. There's a reason he is the president, for sure.
100%, bro.
Word, it's all love for the culture. Love Shaky, bro, always.
100%. And I mean, in general, it's just been a wicked event.
Man, crazy event, bro.
The shout out to G-Megs for filming the battle impromptu I did with Kozza. That was fucking sick.
Crazy battle, man. Shout out to Kozza, like, random guy on a mission, bro. Like, it's hard out here in these streets and to rock up and do that stuff. Is fucking incredible, man. Talented as fuck.
100%.
Like, in saying that, you know what I mean? Like, Vaniks is not, by all means, someone to be taken lightly. Freestyle, written, doesn't matter. Venue, lane way, I'm telling you, I've battled the man impromptu as well. And it's something you don't, like, it's not a test you just want to sign yourself up for, like, that's for sure. That's just me being honest.
Yeah, straight up. Thank you for the kind words, my bro. Alright, that's all we got time for. Shout out to J-Megs.
Shout out 2:30 p.m. in the morning. You know what it is.
Alright, so I watched your impromptu battle with who was the guy that
Kozza.
So he just showed up, was that?
Bro, it was the weirdest thing, right? It was
I will say his performance was highly entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
And although there were a few questionable bars, he did have some really good punchlines.
He should have been there, bro. But this guy, we get through the battles, and we're just sort of standing around talking shit, and the event's sort of coming to a close. And all of a sudden, I overhear this conversation between Badesy and this, like, random guy. And the bits of the conversation I heard was about him wanting to battle. They were like, oh, well, we'd have to get you an opponent. There was another guy there that was, like, our first timer. And I asked him, and he was like, oh, no, I'm not in the right headspace. And I overheard this conversation. I was like, right, Badesy, bro, if you need someone, like, I'll battle them, man. It was fucking Vaniks, one of our top tier guys, like, you know, so it's up to Cos. Cos was like, let's do it. Sweet as, man. Get in there. And, like, I didn't know what to expect, but ultimately I was like, I wasn't expecting much, right? No disrespect to Cos, but I didn't know him. Nobody knew him. Fucking comes in like a mean motherfucker. Timberlands, timber shoes. Someone help this man. He's starting to grow boobs. You don't look like a Ben. You look like a Bob. 30 G's, 30 grand for your new boob job.
First off, what the fuck, man? Timberlands, timber shoes. Somebody get this bitch a bra. He's starting to grow boobs. Vanik, you look more like a Bob. 30 G's, 30 grand for his new boob
It
job.
was his opener, and I was like, bro, what? Like, dude. But the thing, like, and my performance wasn't the greatest. I was just like fucking corny ass freestyles, straight off the top shit, which is not my strongest thing. Like I'm not the strongest off the cuff freestyler, but I do my best. But yeah, man, he come in like he was like, I love your bleach blonde hair, boo. Did you bleach your pussy too?
Bleached his hair bright blonde. I love it, boo. Hey, did you also bleach your pussy
Like,
too?
so he had some shit, man. But he spent like the whole time cracking on to me while battling, talking about like, you're a hole, I want to screw. And when I bend over,
Just tell me, are you in? Are you in?
like telling me he loves me and shit. But no, that was cracker, man. Absolute cracker.
Yeah, that would have been awesome to be there.
Yeah. I really hope that that footage gets put online.
And it's cool that, you know, someone can just show up in the 30G, you know, community with like, yeah, cool, do your thing.
Straight up, 100%. And that's what it's like. That's what the culture's about. Like, yeah, we have these like structured events set up and, you know, people have their place. But it's that spontaneous, impromptu energy that sort of carries the culture. Because you go back in the day, you know, it's way back in the day, we're talking like 90s, kids would be standing around ciphering in school. Nobody was like, oh, I have to be pre-planned to go in the cipher. They just walked into the cafeteria, walked on in and started spitting bars. And nobody gave a shit. It was just like, oh. That's what it was like with Cozza. He just rocked up and wanted to do his thing. Nobody knew him. Nobody knew what he could do. Gave him a shot. And he killed it.
I want to see Koza do some more battles. That would be awesome.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Cause if you see this, bro, you are a fucking G. Don't get me wrong, I like the venue events, you know, the main card, main stage sort of stuff. You know, like what we do at, like, you know, Bad Decisions. Bad Decisions, Fitzroy, fucking check it out. But the Street Series, man, is a vibe. It's not just a battle. It's got this raw, gritty, kind of nostalgic vibe to it that just feels so intensely hip hop. Whereas the venue battles, well, they're all good and well and they're like great fun and the energy's high and whatever. Just there's something special about the laneway battles. And having things happen like me and Kozar just off the cuff, being in a laneway with, you know, a little less structure allowed for that to happen, which I don't feel like it would have if we were like Bad Decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you ever want to come to a 30G event, the Street Series is going down constantly. I think the last one was Street Series 3 or 4. You know, hit up the socials, you know what's good. Speaking of 30G, I think it's time to officially announce. If you don't know yet, you should know because it's been announced. But I've been under the weather and I've been off in the corner doing my thing, man. It's been weird lately. So get off my back about it. Me versus fucking Deliver happening in Vegas, Brisbane, Maine on the 8th of November at Smoke Screens. Got a stacked card. Me versus Deliver. Red Rider versus Sage Moon. Not one you want to miss.
Wow, that's only like 3 weeks away, is it?
Yeah, bro, and I still don't have my bars like memorized or whatever.
Oh, good luck.
Thankfully, like, because I memorize bars through relentless repetition, which can get very mind-numbing, but I can memorize my bars in like 4 days if I have to, and I proved that when I battled Mason, which was my first battle with 30G, because I was meant to battle MoFlo, and for whatever reason, I can't quite remember what it was, but Caleb wasn't able to make it. I had found out in advance, so I was like, okay, what do I do now? Because I had all this material written for the name MoFlo, but then they're like, hey man, it was like 4 days left of the battle, and they were like, do you want to battle Mason instead? So I had 4 days to rewrite and memorize my bars. And if you watch that battle with Mason, I fucking kill it. In 4, and I got a flip in, because Mason does the whole, this league. And I opened my second round with like, I'm a G, 30 Gs.
That was a fun battle to be at.
It was.
What was someone was placing bets with Tim Tams? Was it a packet of shapes or Tim Tams?
There was like a packet of, like a biscuit of some sort. And it was a pack of Tim Tams. And then they had like the hat in the center, like people were throwing dollars in and smokes in. And yeah, I remember. And, you know, there were people who shall not be named that are absolute G's, but they were just sitting there with like bags of weed, just like chopping mixes on them, sitting on the ground of the alleyway. Come to a street series, they're a vibe. Like at the last one, like it was kind of cool that Koza showed up, because like at the last one, like other than Koza, we had a lot of bystanders that would just like walk past the alleyway, stand around for a little bit, catch a few minutes of what was going on, and then keep on. And it almost became like street entertainment. Like, you know, you go to like Melbourne, you get like your buskers and that, and you like living statues and that sort of shit. I think to the people that just stopped and watched, like we were like that. We were just like street entertainment. And you hear someone busking, you stop for a few minutes, catch a bit of it, and keep going. If you like it, you toss some dollars. That was the only difference, is they weren't tossing us dollars. But it was so cool to have so many like bystanders that would just swing past and stop for a moment and catch the show and, you know, keep on. And it was, you know, that kind of environment that allowed for those bystanders to come and watch, and it was that sort of shit that led to me versus Koza. So I'll say it a million times, the street series is a fucking vibe and definitely worth doing.
So who else is going to Bris Vegas?
Going to the Brizzy. This is how fucking stupid I am, right, folks? I was looking for my phone so I could pull up the card to show you all, only to realize that we are recording this on my phone. So, you know, score one for big brains.
It's like when you're on the phone and you're like, where's my phone? Have you seen my phone?
Or like you're wearing your sunnies and you're like, and they're on your face.
Now my phone's not working. So, oh, wait, hang on.
Oh, hey, oh. Bear with us, people. It's all happening. Maybe, potentially. Maybe not.
Something going on with the internets today. Google not working.
I tell you what, seeing as I can't think of like who's on the card right now, and my homie's phone ain't working. Oh wait, we got it.
Okay.
So we got Shads versus Zayn Azari. We've got Deliver and myself. We've got Red Rider War vs Sage Moon. And we've got Lone Soldier vs Impose with special guest judges. I know there was meant to be a couple battles like Sturdy and Matt Klein. That is not happening. I think G-Megs was also supposed to battle. But there's been, for their own reasons, those battles aren't happening. We will miss you, boys.
So that's most of the battle event stuff sorted. So I wanted to talk about a knife crime in Victoria. So if you were a machete holding criminal, would you drop your machete in a knife box outside of the police station?
Is it part of an amnesty?
Yes.
Then maybe.
Maybe, but...
Maybe, during an amnesty, maybe, but ultimately, I mean, wouldn't it be easier to just stash it away?
Or just keep it, not tell anyone?
And that's what I meant by stash it away, just like hold on to it.
But like, you're a criminal intending to do bad things, why would you hand your weapon in? That would be a dumb criminal.
I think, look, the machete ban, I think like it's a step in the right direction. Things like this need to happen, but ultimately it's not going to do fuck all for the crime rate.
Yeah, people
will adapt. They will find the machete, like the guns went out, so blades came in.
Yeah, the
blades go out, in comes something new. Next thing you know, they're walking around with crowbars and trolley poles and tire irons.
Well, in Australia, we're lucky that we live on an island. It's easy to govern. It's, we don't have the same issues of America. If America had the same gun laws that we had, they'd still have pretty bad crime because they're bordered on Mexico, which also has interesting gun laws when you look it up. But things just get smuggled over the border. We don't have that issue, thankfully.
Well, Texas has pretty loose gun laws, but Texas also is like staggeringly low in the crime rate when it comes to gun-related crimes. And I think a large part of the reason is, like, in Texas, the gun laws are so fucking loose that, like, having a gun is just a rite of passage. So nobody pulls their piece knowing that everybody else in the supermarket is also carrying a piece.
It's kind of like that, like, everyone has a gun or no one has a gun.
Yeah.
Which, if you look at the UK, that's probably more comparable to Australia in terms of how we govern our country, because it's an island. Nothing's getting smuggled over the border, or at least it's a lot harder to. They've cracked down on their guns and knives, but knife crime's still through the roof. And if it gets to a point where, you know, people can't go to a kitchen store and buy a knife, it's like, well, obviously the issue's deeper than objects.
Knife crime in Australia, look, if you're going to cut somebody, finish the job, because if you don't, they might get you back. Either way, you shouldn't be carrying blades, man. Grow the fuck up.
Don't be a cunt.
Don't be a cunt. It's that simple.
Yeah, I gotta carry blades for work purposes, but...
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Look, it's just, at the end of the knife crime or whatever it may be, the headline is simple. Don't be a cunt.
Unless you're gonna be a good cunt, then be a cunt.
Yeah.
There's a camera over here or there?
Wait, there's a camera?
Alright, so we're gonna wrap this up now. This has been episode 1 of our Interlude podcast, which is just when we want to get together and get a message out without it being overly structured. Vaniks probably gonna edit like most of this out, and we're gonna keep it to as concise as possible. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the entertainment, and peace out.
Peace out. Yo, what up? What's good? You thought we were gone? Thought we were finished? Nah, mate. Nah. Got a little freestyle segment for you. Little freestyle segment for you. Fuck Cody Jack, he's gonna fucking push some buttons, make a beat, and then I'm gonna come back and freestyle over that motherfucker. Yo, what's going on? You heard of me? Yeah, motherfucker, I'm a nerdy freak. I'm a wordy beast. Words on repeat that I've said while I've been rapping 30G. Yeah. Causing a massacre like driving on Burke Street. A rapper, yeah, you heard me. I don't give a fuck. Listen to my words before I shoot up the place like a scene at Christchurch. I be blazing the weed, son, know what I mean. Cunt, I'm about to get mean, bro, and I don't give a fuck. I throw that middle finger up and the hand in front of my face. John Cena can't see me, nah. Peace, bruh, or playing the guitar, singing Kumbaya again. That ain't gonna happen. Know what I mean? I'm back rapping, get 'em clapping. Yeah, I smash it. I'm a fanatic. I'm Vanik and I am manic and I am ecstatic right now. I'm failing to come up with lines, but I'm laying rhymes like all of the time, and you can't deny that on the ladder as I climb up the rungs will fall flat underneath your feet, cause you don't have the same impact as me.
When I say I eat for breakfast in the afternoon, I mean 2:30 p.m. in the morning.
Oh, let's go! That was great.